is Movie Nights! Watched a review. It's finally a good one. Watched a good movie. Finally did. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. We watched Soul, and it has it, and I liked it. So thank you. Brandon, you go first.
Yeah, so I honestly had no plans on watching this movie, but my girlfriend really wanted to watch it, I think the night it came out, and I was like, yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and give it a shot. I just not a huge fan of Pixar movies, just because I guess when I watch movies like this, I expect them to be very light, and they're just very heavy movies. For a lot of them are, at least, so it kind of just, I don't know, never been a huge fan of movies like that, but it was actually pretty solid. I was surprised how much I did actually enjoy it. It started off a little slow, but I understand it. Movies have to start somewhere, and, you have to understand who and what the character is. There is a lot of little things that were great about the movie. First off, Joe was very well done. Jamie Foxx did a great job really bringing that character alive. And 22 in the movie, as soon as that character joined in, that's when the movie just got perfect. I don't even know it was Tina Fey who did the voice of 22. But yeah, I mean, I did like it more than I thought I would, and I'm glad the character development was as good as it was, because that really kind of carried the movie, I thought.
Nice. See, I'm a little bit different because I was always going to watch this movie. I love Pixar. I love what they do. I don't even know if there are any that I don't like. There's some I like more than others, obviously, but I don't think any of them are bad by any stretch. And so I was always excited about this, seeing this come out. I vaguely knew what it was about, but they were also they kind of didn't tell you a lot in the previews.
Yes.
It was just enough, and so you're like, okay, I'm interested. And then, man, this movie was so cool. The intro, a little trippy, I'm not gonna lie, when it's like the bad band practice of the Disney music, when they're like zooming in on the castle, and it's all this like, circus of nightmare sounds coming at you. But man, this was just a good one. I like it. I have a list of things because I always make lists, but it's just good. I just like it, and I'm happy that we finally watched a movie that was just good. We didn't have to do any like watch-a-thon with 4 other people to find a surprisingly decent movie. We didn't have to scream at the TV because of how much we hate it. We were blowing up a group chat. I've seen it 3 times, and each time was a delight. So I'm just in a good mood with this, man.
No, that's definitely good. And before we get into the things that you did like about the movie, I just want to mention one thing, I guess, that I thought could have been done really well. It's something my girlfriend and I kind of talked about right at the end of the film, is something we wish would have changed or been different. And we were really hoping at the end you would see like a character come into a class for band, and it's 22 in his class. That's what we were really hoping was going to happen. I thought that it's kind of a cute ending to wrap it all together. But that's honestly the only part of the movie I thought they just kind of missed a step with. But again, that was just because I wanted it to end away. That doesn't make it a better or worse of a movie. So I thought that would have been just really cool, though. So
definitely. I thought you were going to go a slightly different route, which is one that actually Sahara and I both thought would have been cool, and it was just that he is back to being like also a band teacher. He might still be doing like the quartet thing. He still, who knows, but just to like, he had that realization moment at the end, and so for him to be like, oh wait, yeah, and they had it like the whole way through. He was a good teacher, he was a good mentor, that sort of thing. So it would have been cool to see him like happily teaching band while also doing things, because that's not his whole life. Yeah. But that would have been cool to see 22 sort of make another appearance in there too.
Yeah,
I would have liked that.
I do think either of those could have been a very good way to end the movie. So I definitely agree. It could have been maybe done slightly better with the ending. But I mean, all in all, the movie was fun. It had a very good pace to it after you kind of understood who Joe was. And again, 22 is just fantastic throughout the whole movie. And there's just different little things, like seeing 22's realization of potentially enjoying life was just really exciting to see throughout the film.
It was awesome. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this movie, honestly. I remember the first time watching it, when there was the cat on his lap and they jumped. I was like, oh my god, he's going to be stuck in this cat, and then this is going to be the whole movie, isn't it? And then he did, and so I was a little disappointed the first time because I thought that's what they were going to do the whole movie. It's just like, that Freaky Friday Switch style movie, but it wasn't that. And so I was relieved, and now upon watching it, that doesn't irritate me as much. And I think a lot of that comes from just how much I love the scenes when they're in the great beyond or the great before, or when they are like their souls. I love those scenes so much. Visually, they are just amazing. At the beginning with the credits, when he's like falling through reality, oh my god, that is some of the most like beautiful animation I've ever seen. And then I just all of it. I love how they did that, like the great before and the great beyond and the Jerrys and Terry. All of it was so cool, and all, like the personality things. I love how they managed to like toe the line between like being offensive to any versions of like any afterlife or before life or reincarnation or whatever. Like, they didn't do anything that I think anyone can be mad at, and they also like they didn't just pick one. It wasn't like a heaven or hell sort of thing where you're just like, oh, and this is great if that's your version of the afterlife. But this is Pixar's version of the afterlife, so it's not like it's excluding anybody while being, I'm trying, it's hard to put it into words, but it was really, really nice to see it, and it just felt really nice, and I thought it was really, really well done, especially when they were like arguing, and 22 was like, this is just an illusion. I could sound like this, I could sound like that, so it's like, there are no stakes in it, and so it doesn't feel like there's any pressure on it. It can just be this fun, beautiful place, and then the stakes come from what happens inside, not the actual thing. I mean, there was the pressure of just him going to the great beyond, but it wasn't because of the great beyond. It was just because of his internal thing. So I think they did a fabulous job doing that.
Yeah, I definitely would not disagree by any means. And it did feel so weird that, it being a Disney Pixar animated film, a lot of the time, I feel most people that saw the trailer like, oh, that's a cute kids movie. This didn't feel like a kids movie outside of the animation, because like the animation and then just in the Great Beyond was kind of cute and goofy with the Jerry and Terry and the, as you were saying, how we can like mimic the voice. Like, I can even be you if I want. So all the little things like that were kind of cute and funny, but the movie was very deep and there was a lot of layers to it, and it did kind of connect, I think, really well, at least on an adult level. So it was kind of nice to see a movie like this. Disney I felt like they really drove that home. A lot of Disney Pixar movies have been like, yeah, it's a kid's movie, but then there's an underlying tone of adult. This one's just like, hey, we're gonna kind of deal with death for a whole movie, and and anything around that area. So it was kind of cool to see them really dive deep into that. And after probably about 20-30 minutes, I fully accepted, like, okay, yeah, this is an animated movie, but it's kind of like an adult movie.
It's kind of interesting how even just like across the board, Pixar kind of like grew up with us almost, and they're still making kids movies and they're still great and it's all that, but I feel like maybe we're just getting older and so we see it more, but it feels like a lot of the movies when we were younger, and maybe it's just the beauty of Pixar, that you can just watch it when you're young and it's great and it's fun and it becomes a classic and you love it from your childhood, and then you watch them as an adult and they make you think and they make you feel and you're just like, man, these are just well-rounded movies. They just know what to do here. And it's just great.
You honestly might be right there, because really thinking about a lot of the different Pixar movies out there, I mean, I think of the films, I'm like, oh yeah, they're all just, cute kids movies, but if I go back and watch more of them, I mean, especially Up,
Oh my god.
Wall-E.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like when you Inside Out, of course. So maybe we're just starting to kind of realize it more because a lot of them that I'm looking at, I mean, they really do have a lot more to them than just kind of a cute movie. Outside of like Incredibles, just being like, you know, family's important, and then
Even that, dude, watch that again. Watch that again as an adult, and you can see like something I didn't notice at all when I was younger is like how real relationships are in that movie. Like Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl do not have a good marriage at all in the first half of the first one, and then there's like the she thinks he's cheating thing, and that's why he got, you know, ripped, and he's got the money now, and there's like so much depth to it where you're like, man, I missed all of that when I was watching it, because on top of that they also have awesome superpowers and big robots, and this guy's throwing ice, and this kid's 100%. Super fast, and so when you're just this is amazing, all of those concepts just fly over your head, as I think they're designed to do. But then for the adults, they're like, God, that is an unhealthy relationship. That is a coping mechanism right there. Oh, they're starting to come together. And then they have, like, by the end, you see not only the story progress like that, but their relationship throughout. And then the second one with, like, him being a father and all that sort of stuff, like being a work-at-home, stay-at-home dad. This isn't the time to do a deep dive into The Incredibles. But, yeah, that's just Pixar, man. They're just good at that.
Yeah, I think it would be fun for us to potentially review some more Pixar movies, you know, and kind of try to look at them from more of an adult perspective then, because I would like to kind of see what you're saying with that. I think that would be very interesting to do.
I'm always down for Pixar.
I would say that, or just do like a deep dive on just breaking down Pixar movies, like the more adult side of them, which I think would be very interesting then. But yeah, any last words for Soul then?
Yes, actually. Let me check my list here just to make sure. Oh, I love how they visualized synesthesia and all of that stuff. I saw like an article before this about how the movie was going to do that, and I was like, how do you do that? But then when he's like playing the piano and you see all the blues and the purples around him, just seeing that mixed with the sound great. The joke about messing with the Knicks always makes me laugh way too hard.
That was really good.
Let me see. Oh, Graham Norton as Moonwind. I thought he was fantastic. He killed it. We always got to shout out the voice actors. Him, Tina Fey, Jamie Foxx, all did a great job. I also love, and this sounds like it's something that I should hate, because it was just sort of like a wipe it away, it doesn't matter anything. I love how they like got around the thing with Terry having the count off, when they were just like, yeah, Joe, we're just gonna let you live the life still. They're like, but what about the count? And he just went, look, and then just kind of slid one. You're like, that's it, that's all that matters. This guy who could count and knows every number and knows everything, he just gets fooled by that. But the way they set it up throughout the movie, and all the passive aggressiveness of the Jerrys, it just worked. And it worked enough for me to be like, yeah, that probably would work for Terry, because I'm connected and I understand like the depths of these characters. And then something that we're not going to be able to touch on, just being who we are, and we've talked about this before, like with Black Panther, we're just two pasty white dudes talking about movies and stuff. But for what this, to finally have like a representation of Black culture in a Pixar movie, and they have their very first, African American lead in a movie, that's big time, man. And a lot of people I've seen online, all of like the good reviews about this movie, a lot of people are finally seeing someone on the screen that they can relate to. I saw a really, really, really cool post. Someone posted a picture of their dad who looks just like Joe. Like, he's got the hat, he's got the beard, he's a jazz player. And so they're like, my dad finally gets to have someone that he can see on the screen. That's and cool. He loves it. It's so cool, man. And like I said, this isn't this isn't the show where we're going to do a deep dive into that because we just don't know. You and I have always had someone on the screen that we could be like, that's me, because we're just white dudes, and that's just how it is. But I think it would be a shame to not talk about that, even on a show like this. So I do want to say extra kudos to Pixar on that one.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong there. And there was just a lot of great things they did in this movie that, again, really did surprise me. So
yeah,
I'm glad I did end up watching it because, again, I did not think I was going to enjoy it. I never thought I'd honestly probably watch it. And it kind of just fit perfectly with our week that we could just kind of smoothly transition into this movie. So, yeah.
Can you believe we were like way more psyched about Wonder Woman than we were this movie?
And Wonder Woman just blew, and this was actually like really solid. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man. Well, goes to show you. Don't judge a movie by the cover. It works better with books. Tell the people where they can find us, Brandon.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to make it real nice and easy for yourself, just go to thenerdchambers.com. You can find all of our links there from our different shows. We also have articles we're posting pretty much every single day. Something's going up on there. Our goal is every day we at least have one thing posting, whether it's an article, just one of our shows. We also have a shop there. You can go ahead and click on there and go check out our current possible sales going on from there. And also we do all have the merch. I'm sporting our Commander and You. Alex, of course, has our TNC shirt. I know you probably saw the shirt. Yeah, so you're probably seeing the shirt and you're like, what is he wearing? Like, what is that? Like, what is that? That being said, though, we do actually have a Spreadshirt sale coming up from January 14th to January 18th. 15% off all orders. And then from there, just go follow us on social media. We'll, we post some things here and there. We'll get some more polls rolling to kind of see what you all would like to see us do. But do not be afraid to recommend a topic or a review for us. We have a lot of different things we would like to try out to get us out of our comfort zone. But yeah, I'm super excited to see where your takes us.
Yeah, definitely. Me too, man. I'm going to do this outro much more quietly than I did the intro because I'm afraid that my mic peaked and that Discord's going to cut it off and that it just sounds like gibberish. So I'm going to very quietly and calmly say that I am Alex and that he is Brandon. And we'll see you guys later.